So, this thing's insane. This right here is the HS420 by Havn, and it's a small form factor mini ITX. I'm just kidding. This thing is huge. You know what's really funny is that if you go to the Amazon listing, it actually classifies this case as a mid-tower case. In what universe? This thing is humongous. But regardless of how they classified it, it doesn't change the fact that this is probably the most crazy looking PC case that I've come across in a very long time. And because I just love building very beautiful gaming PCs inside of some of the best cases you can find right now, I had to build a PC in this because you guys deserve to see a PC built inside of this case right here, and by golly, I'm gonna give it to you. Now, after we put the build together, I will go over what the build experience was like, and we'll talk about all the little tiny things that you don't really know about a PC case until you've built a PC inside of it. But we can't talk about any of that until I put this thing together, which I am very excited to do, by the way. So let's get started. Listen, before I get into the notes that I took during the building process of this beautiful PC, please stop typing. I know that I should have chosen a 420mm AIO rather than the 360mm AIO because it just looks so small compared to all of these 140mm fans. But this Sama AIO is under $100 and you get an LED screen. I'm only human. I wanted to save a little money and still have something that looked really good. I don't know, is it really that obvious? I mean, I feel like if you're eye level with it, you really can't tell. Yeah, I probably need to get a bigger AIO. Ooh, I can't wait to talk about this case, but first, we need to talk about today's sponsor, Titan Army, and their C32C1S gaming monitor. This monitor excels with its impressive 240 Hz refresh rate and lightning fast 1 millisecond GTG response time and adaptive sync technology. It delivers a nearly lag-free gaming experience and lets you target enemies in a blink of an eye. And with its mega view curvature, you get a notable curve that takes the immersive viewing experience to an entirely new level. I have been using that monitor for a whole week and I've got to tell you, I am blown away by its size and its picture quality. I love just how immersive the gameplay feels. This is definitely my brand new main display, as it's absolutely amazing. Go ahead and check out that monitor as well as all of the other monitors that Titan Army has to offer in the link down in the description below. Now, to start this off, I did need to say that there are actually two different versions of this case. There's the standard HS420 and there's the HS420 vGPU version. And this case is of course the vGPU version, the V of course standing for vertical, as you do have to mount your graphics card vertically so that you see the fans. I definitely appreciate this look way more just because this is such a large case that it honestly helps fill in a lot of the dead space inside of the build. Now, at the time of recording this video, the standard version of the HS420 and the vGPU version are two wildly different prices, with the standard version coming in at $200 while the vGPU version comes in at $270. And as of right now, there's actually no way to convert the standard version of the HS420 into the vGPU version of this case. So you have to make sure when you are purchasing your case that that is the decision that you want to stick with. Now, I will say that this case does come off a bit intimidating. There are a lot of removable panels and a lot of different screws to keep track of. So if you are going to be building in this case, it is important that you pay close attention to where you are putting all the screws, because if you've ever built a PC before, you know that by the time you're finished, there are boxes and wrappers pretty much everywhere. So it's easy to lose those very important screws. So just be mindful of where you're putting everything. Now, even though this case does come off as pretty intimidating, the manual that they give you is way better than most manuals that you get when you buy a case. They do a very good job of breaking down exactly how to take the case apart and put everything back together. It's very simple as long as you are referring to that manual. And I can say that cable management inside of here is super simple because they've marked everything, all the different channels and where you can route all your cables are all color coded with these little tabs to simplify your process in trying to keep everything organized in the back of the case, which is something that I struggle with to this day. Honestly, when it comes to PC cases, this is probably one of the most well thought out cases that I've ever built in. I mean, it really is truly an airflow marvel. Now, aside from me being cheap and putting a 360mm AIO in here, this case is designed with 140mm fans in mind. Now, I say that even though the only place that you really have to put 140mm fans is down here at the bottom, as they only have mounting for 140mm fans down here. You can't put 120mm fans at the bottom of the case, but everywhere else in the case you could realistically use 120mm fans, even though they would probably appear very tiny in this humongous case. Now, as far as the fan configuration that I went with, I believe that I just did exactly what, this case was designed
designed to be laid out to do, where the bottom fans and the back wall here are intake fans, as well as this fan here in the rear at the bottom are all intake, and then my exhaust fans are the 360mm AIO up top, and this 140mm fan in the rear top of the case. Man, there's a lot of fans in here. Now, the majority of this case is perforated, leading to absolutely no shortage of fresh air flying into your PC. I mean, look at the size of these huge vents right here, all sucking in fresh air and pumping it straight into your graphics card. And because these fans are bringing in so much fresh air, it is leading to some of the best GPU thermals that I have ever seen from any case ever. Even in GPU stress tests, the max GPU temp I was hitting was only 64 degrees Celsius, which for a 4080 Super is unbelievable. And in basic gameplay, the average GPU temp I was getting was only in the mid-50s. Now, that Gigabyte Aero card is factory overclocked, and I didn't pump any more voltage to that card. That is what the temperatures would be right out of the box. But you have a ton of headroom to throw some more voltage at this card. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, we are able to get these crazy GPU temps because of the way that this bottom fan mount is angled, and the fact that they include this clear plexiglass plate that you attach to the back of the fans. The idea is that the plexiglass insert helps block the possibility of air traveling anywhere else other than up and into the graphics card, and then the GPU sucks in that fresh air, and then the rest of the fans in the system remove that hot air from the case. This case does such a good job at removing hot air, and it keeps everything inside of your PC running super cool. The only case that I have built in that even comes close to the amount of airflow and the ability to remove hot air from the case was probably the Thermaltake Tower 300 case. That PC was beast at pumping out hot air, but even still, these GPU temps are far better than the temperatures we were able to get from the Tower 300 build. Plus, the difference in price between the Tower 300 case and this case is actually pretty substantial. But the cooling that you get from this case versus the Tower 300 is also pretty substantial, so I mean, just pick your poison. So in my opinion, if you are looking for a case that has the absolute best airflow that you could possibly get from a PC case, then I believe that we have this year's winner. Although, I'm really interested in that new Fantex case that's coming out. I don't think it's available yet. I don't even remember what it's called. It's the one that's got the glass backplate. Looks crazy. Maybe Fantex is watching. They just be a deer and they can send me one so I can take a look at it. Now, I'm not trying to cut this short, but I did just buy Black Ops 6 and I really want to play it, and I really want to play it on this PC right here because this thing is absolutely epic. So I did want to say that if you had a little bit of fun with me here today, please hit the subscribe button as well as smash that like button so that this video can be spread to a whole bunch of different people and I can become, you know, worldwide PC building famous. Yeah, right. Me and the YouTube algorithm are gonna fight. But I did want to say that no matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are having the most fantastic day. And I'm gonna see you right here for the next video.